Hello. Hello. Whoa. Wow. This is really bad lighting. Oh my gosh! We got a rooster! Hello! I'm so happy. Hi. This isn't a gun. Don't worry. You don't have to go away. I'm your friend. Come back here. Man, that is a beautiful one. There's a hen over here too. Yay! What a good day this is. Oh my God, I am so flippin' happy. Look at that beauty. That is beauty. Not beautiful, yum, yum. Beautiful as in gorgeous. Wow. You can just chuck-a-luck. Just flaunt your stuff over there, Mr. Roosty Roost. Depending on how long you've been following me, then you might know. Back in the day, we used to have some roosters and hens that were from next door neighbors, but I adopted them because they liked our lawn better. I mean, most people do. We have the best worms, if you will. That isn't really good or sound good. Sounds more like we're trashy, but take it as you will. We are trashy. What can I say? Hey. I'm very excited about that because, you know, I don't have any animals of my own, so I like to steal other people's animals. You know, it makes me feel special, if you will. So I was talking to one of my gal pals on Instagram. She was a gal pal way back when in the day, kind of. I mean, basically we just went to high school together is all. I'm trying to make myself sound like I've had some friends a time or two before. This is... I'm not too thrilled about our little rooster anymore. Are you gonna talk over me? This is a serious subject that I really want to communicate with you, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to because there's a lot going on here. First of all, it is hot. Second of all, these birds are way too happy. They're chippering away. And third of all, I got a new buddy over here that wants to act like he's gonna be good and all until I start talking, and then he starts clucking away. I can't with the clucks. I can't. Ugh. I give up. Off to my car we go. Brandon's watching golf. So we're gonna do the infamous car shoot. You know, to be honest, this is where I live anyway, so we might as well just get back to our natural habitat. Right? Right. Let's just get it a little bit cooler first because hot galore. Wow, yeah. Ooh, look at that wind in my face. Perfect, yay! Lighting, you know. So this isn't a funny video. I don't know why I'm trying to make it very entertaining. What can I say? I'm just that way. So the girlfriend of mine that I was trying to tell you, she was talking about migraines and stuff like that, and like, if you don't know anything about me, first of all, you know now that I love chickens and hens and stuff, and second of all, I am the migraine queen, if you will. I used to suffer from those little bastards a lot back in my time. First of all, how are we in the year of almost 2020 now and nobody has a cure for migraines and or a legitimate something that will work and knock them out when you get them? That is just a rant all in general that I'll say for another day. Until then, so like some people are like, just pinch your ear or pinch this part of your, this is my clippy. I mean, this is supposed to be in my hair, but I just wanted to let you know that this isn't a ring, and I'm not a weirdo that wears rings like this. Pinch your thumb, or pinch your ear, or put a rag over your head, or something cheesy like that, and that'll get rid of your migraines. And all these little gimmicks online, do this, do that, and it'll cure your migraine like that. No, ma'am. Or sir, it doesn't work like that. Like if that works, then you do not have a migraine, first of all. So what is a migraine? Although very complex, migraines are a disease of the nervous system that happens in your brain, often from a hypersensitive trigger. Generally speaking, migraines are often associated with extreme changes in the blood vessels of your brain, which are not getting and or receiving the appropriate or adequate amount of blood flow, oxygen, and or serotonin level. AKA, your neurotransmitters are not transmitting the appropriate amount of
whatever they need to transmit. Therefore, we lucky little people that suffer with migraines have a nervous system that's way too sensitive, aka too jumpy, which reacts to small and or normal stimulation with an exaggerated response.
It's just so interesting how your body can be so anti whatever it doesn't want in there at the time, and it's going to tell you right then.
Dwindling down into the huge, terrorizing, torturous pain of your life, aka a migraine.
Extreme, severe pain, level pain like 8, 9, 10. To be honest, I have put off making this video because I hate talking about this subject, because I am so scared of even talking about it, because I don't like putting things out in the universe that can come back and haunt me, and I feel like I'm just like talking about it and manifesting it, because anyways, it always starts off
clearly getting anxious just by talking about it, but here's a trigger warning for those of you that are easily triggered by viewing the aura vision that I'm going to discuss.
And I'm going to just briefly go through this little aura vision that I get. It looks like a kaleidoscope. It looks like I can't see. It's a distorted vision. I will insert some pictures here, maybe, may or not, because I hate looking at that and I hate even thinking about that.
And this is a pretty accurate representation of the scintillating scotoma, also known as a migraine aura, with these typically zigzaggy, shimmery, flashing pattern lights.
I hate that view so much. I hate not being able to see. It's the scariest thing ever. The little snaky things, it's bad. That is pretty much why I'm scared of lights and stuff like that, because lights can be a trigger too. So that is approximately how my migraines used to be. Severe level, throwing up sick. I take 4 ibuprofens right off the bat once I see all that kaleidoscopy vision, and even that I would still have level almost 10 and 11 and 12 migraine. Even then, after, I would still be sore the rest of the day, or if I slept it off, the next day. I mean, if anybody is watching this and you get migraines, and you know it's bad. It's really, really, really bad. And so when people just blatantly say, you know, walking around, I have a migraine. Like, no, you don't. If you're able to even walk or function, you don't have one. But now I understand, because now mine are less severe. So there's a little picture of that lovely family little portrait, okay? Still get them, but not as often. Where I used to get them pretty much every week to now only getting them every once in a blue moon, like 1, 2, 3, if that, 3 times a year. Okay, I'm very, very thankful that I've eliminated that far. But you know, we are human and we want better. And I never, ever want to get them. Like, if somebody can find a cure and send that my way, then that'd be fine. But I don't want your little oils that you put on your forehead or anything like that, because I don't believe in that. I'm sorry. The best thing that I have found to actually work in me not getting them as much is the food. Now, there are 20,000 things that can be a trigger that we cannot control, like the weather, barometric pressure, somebody's crappy florally spray. So you gotta take the bull by the horn, or the horn by the bull, or whatever the saying is. You gotta take your own life, your own health in charge. And I know this is gonna be like, oh, she always says eliminate processed foods and all that kinds of stuff. But I'm telling you, in order for you to eliminate getting your migraines and or eliminate the severity of them, look at the back of your packages. Sodium nitrate, huge trigger. Eliminating that one ingredient from my diet, golden. Hands down, the biggest step to me not getting them as much that I can't even explain. Sodium nitrate is like a preservative that they put in your meats to make them look nice and fancy, so it doesn't look like a dead cow is sitting on your plate. It looks more appeasing. Otherwise, the meats would look dull, dark, red, brown, and it looking like a big pile of poo. Basically, you wouldn't want to eat it. And you know, we got to make everything look pretty, because it's all about the presentation, right? So pretty much fake meats, aka lunch meats, not the way to go, because that is always going to have some sodium nitrate, sodium phosphate, sodium citrate, sodium triphosphate, trisphospate, triblascate, phosphate, all these metals. I know metals sound very like aggressive, but it's really what it is in order for your meat to do whatever cure that it's going to do. I'm not a scientist or a forensic or a nutritionist, therapist, doctor, and or a Scientologist. I always have to make that disclaimer. But I do know that they inject your meats, not only your fake meats, but even like your chickens that are walking around just nonchalantly looking like beautiful food, apparently. They inject them with steroids, antibiotics, which that is something that they don't necessarily put in the ingredient list label. However, the more natural, fresh meats that you go towards rather than lunch meats and beef jerkies and fake meats, then it's probably gonna be better if you are gonna be eating meats.
Not only do you want to look out for obvious packaging in meat products, but you also need to be aware of seemingly innocent products as well.
Hey, chicken noodle soup, you got some chicken in there, that sodium nitrate in there, and it floats all in your soup, even if you didn't eat the chicken. Guilty by association, if you will. The next thing to get rid of your migraines, sweeteners. Now, good God, I know people love their sweeteners. I used to be addicted to Splenda back in the day. You have no idea. Artificial sugars such as maltodextrin, dextrose, sucralose, aspartame, dextrin, quinoline, millions of others. I know they're so delicious and you think that they are helping your body and saving you some extra calories.
Newsflash, they are not. It's only keeping you sick, tired, hungry, helping you gain weight, and helping you get a migraine.
Eliminate your artificial sweeteners. I promise you this too will make such a difference in your world. There's all kinds of chemicals in these fake sugars that is not good for your body, not good for your brain. If you get a lot of headaches, if you get a lot of migraines,
check your labels. I can't stress it enough. It's in everything these days.
in your granola bars, in your little fruit snacks, in your little fruit drinks, in your little diet drinks. If you do need a sweetener, I'm gonna show you what I use occasionally. It's this stevia leaf extract, and it is it. There is no any other chemical ingredients.
Unlike many of these other sweeteners on the market, to name a few, which I don't want to say any names, but that is not raw stevia.
Look at the back of the package and I promise you, you will see more ingredients than the stevia itself. So don't be fooled with the front fancy little label advertising.
Oh, this is stevia, this is better than sugar, and oh, it has no calories, and oh, this is so great and great, it's just stevia.
It's not just stevia. All this said, you have to make a diary for you, and that way you know specifically what your trigger is. Like the girlfriend that I was talking to you about earlier, she says every time she busts open a Coke, I don't know if she was drinking diet or regular, sometimes the carbonation, the fizz is just too much for your little peanut to handle. Now, I never have been a soda drinker, but carbonation can be a factor and a trigger.
Which, going back to what we previously discussed about the artificial sweeteners and flavorings and or just chemicals in general, have you looked at the back of some of these sodas? I mean, this is a chemical disaster for a migraine.
Well, let's just go a little bit deeper into number 3 biggest tip. Try to avoid all those fake artificial preservatives, sweeteners, and chemicals all in general. Once you start eating whole natural foods and or at least look at your ingredients and make sure it has less than at least 10 ingredients and or be familiar with those 10 ingredients and be able to know what they are, then you're gonna start helping your body. Your blood's gonna start moving and grooving, your oxygen's gonna flow, because that's ultimately kind of what a trigger is. Let's go a little bit deeper. Skipping meals, as I was so good at, and I was so proud to do that, and my body was not. A lot of people do this. A lot of people try to skip their meals so they can have a bigger meal later or whatnot. A huge trigger, because when your body is needing food, needing energy, needing to have that blood sugar level being stabilized, then it needs it. Skipping meals is a no-no. Stress is a really big one too. If you have a lot on your plate, always taking in more than you can chew, not talking food here, we're talking taking in a whole bunch of obligations, a whole bunch of priorities just sitting on your shoulders, taking in, never saying no, and dumping a whole bunch of stuff that you are not mentally stable, well, not stable, but prepared to complete, and or you get very stressed easily, like I am getting right now for some reason, then you might want to eliminate some of your stress load.
AKA, it's not only what you feed or consume into your body that matters, it's also how you treat your body. Try to meditate more, read more, yoga, exercise, take a walk, take a vacation, visit family.
Try to be cautious, be mindful, calm yourself down basically if you are getting stressed. I mean, it's not that deep. My newest favoriteest quote ever is, it's not a matter of life and death. Definitely tell yourself that, calm yourself down, and or not put so much load on top of yourself than have a migraine, because a migraine is life and death. Another trigger I got rid of completely was caffeine. That is a process in itself. It's a little tricky. For instance, you are accustomed to having your cup a day or 2 cups a day. It's kind of like any other drug. Once you get used to a certain cup of Joe a day, and that cup of Joe is not going to be doing the trick after a certain point in time, and then you're going to need another cup of Joe. And then after you do that for a few months, years, however long, your body's just going to want more. Our body just likes to work against us sometimes. It's never good enough. However, whenever you are winging yourself off of caffeine, or if you do not get your caffeine at that specific time that your body's accustomed and used to getting, then you might get a headache. Those are withdrawal symptoms. Caffeine is just like any other drug. I'm not saying that caffeine is bad for you, no. I mean, millions of people drink it, run on it, which is fine. They can do that. But
if you get headaches and or migraines often, you might just want to ease up on the caffeine.
in the long run, it's more beneficial, in my opinion. I feel a lot better not having to have a stimulant just to be able to perform my days. And that's not saying that maybe later on in life, whenever I get old, uglier, hairier, less willing to be mobile, then I might not have a few sips. Until then, I want your big caffeine free. Sometimes for me, getting overheated can be a factor too. Another thing that I noticed a big change in eliminating was milks and dairies. Did that make sense? Milks and dairies? Dairy stuff.
While there are plenty disgusting research, study, and statistical data that has influenced my decision on not consuming milks and cheeses, one being they cause migraine, and the reason being from this fancy substance, which we'll go further into detail on this.
For some people are a trigger as well. If I do have a lot of nuts, like in my family.
All jokes aside, while nuts are very yummy and good for you, as we discussed previously with the cheeses, that same substance, tyramine, is also found in nuts, which if you do not have enough MAO, if you will, which is an enzyme that breaks down tyramine in our body. Research suggests that if you do not have enough MAO in your system, aka higher tyramine in your system, then you might just get more headaches and or migraines more often with these certain foods.
So, check your nuts and or be a nut. Clenching your jaw. I tend to chew hard sometimes and or clench my jaw a lot whenever I'm stressed. I have an overbite, okay? So that just means that your top teeth go over your bottom teeth like so, and it's very sexy. Your jaw is not in the proper alignment, so it's, I don't know, in my thoughts, I'm guessing it's just jabbing into my temples and causing my brain to explode. You can't really fix that unless you want to undergo surgery, which I ain't gonna do that, and a lot of people probably don't want to. So don't chew too hard and or clench your jaw often. That literally could just be the small little cause of your migraines. To be honest, sometimes I wonder if it's mine. So focus on relaxing the jaw. I do that when I get stressed. And sometimes I even do it in my sleep. It's weird. While we're on the clenching the jaw subject, take a moment to breathe. Let's do it together. Doesn't that feel good? One more time. Whenever I'm doing something, I notice myself holding my breath, and I know I'm not alone. Especially like whenever I'm like in a close proximity with people and we're talking. I mean, I don't really want to like blast them out with some breath. Like right now, I'm talking too much and I need to take a breath. oxygen is not being transmitted in your brain like it's supposed to be, and there's a supply of air cut off wherever, and that's why you can't see, and or that's why you get a migraine all in general. Alcohol and wine. Alcohol dehydrates you, and our bodies are 75% water. We need water, and anything that is dehydrating us, we need to get it back. So if you are a drinker, definitely drink you some water to back it up. And you know, I understand occasional drinking, and if that's something you do, fine, whatever, but it's not made to be in our body. I mean, like, taste it. It's obviously poison. It obviously does something to you to feel like you're poison for you to be as incoherent as what you get. You know, you're kind of like a rat that just ate poison, walking around like a zombie trying to find some water. You know what I mean? So, less alcohol is best, is my point. Which, finally, my biggest tip, which should have been the first tip, but I'm an idiot and I decided to put it in the back burner for some reason. Water. Totally something that can help you not get migraines as much, and or if you get them, I promise you it will help you alleviate a lot of the pain and the severity of them if you do get them. Water is so beneficial. There's statistical facts and studies that prove many people's sicknesses, illnesses, diseases, and just regular basic old crappy symptoms of being a human that their body is being a can be prevented and or less severe simply by being well hydrated. Now that's just not me saying that. That is specifically factual statistical evidence right there. So drink you more water, and I promise you, you will help your body in so many more ways than just not getting a migraine. Hydration is best. Did you know that you're probably already dehydrated right now? If you haven't had a sip of water in the past definitely hour or past 20 minutes, why don't you take you a swig? Always have you some water handy. When I feel like I'm about to get one, I chug a lot of water, and sometimes I don't get one after doing that. So that just goes to show you, proof is in the pudding. We need it. You know, our body is very, very understanding and susceptible to telling us something is wrong, and most oftentimes than not, it's because it does not have water. Get enough sleep at night. If you're not getting enough sleep, your body is running off of pretty much nothing. Anxiety, stress, adrenaline, maybe. Get you like at least 8 to 20 hours of sleep. It's obvious. I don't even have to go through why it helps.
Or do I? In particular, this specific rat study indicated sleep-deprived rats secreted high levels of proteins that arouse the nervous system, which in turn had a strong correlation in bodily functions, weakness, pain, brain activity, and you guessed it, migraines. Need I say more? Sleep more.
Have energy. Your body's not a walking zombie. You know? And those are my fancy little tips. I really hope it helps. I really hope you get less migraines, and I really, really hope you at least do a couple of these things, if not all of these things. Try to focus and practice them, make them into a habit so you can get less migraines and so you can live a zestier life. Okay? Talk to you later. Don't forget the water. Water's best. Cheers. Let's cheers up. Mm-hmm.